Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing? It has been a while. It has been too long since I streamed. I don't know how long it's been actually, but it's been way too long. So yeah, I missed streaming, and I missed the community, and I missed being here and producing this content. So today I'm back. It is Monday. So a good start for the week. I have beer, and we can get started. All right. So what do we actually want to achieve today? Um, all right. So let's exit this and open up Visual Studio for our to-do list. Um, okay. So we're gonna create a new file, save it in my Dropbox called jumpy.todo. Great. So here's some things that we need to do. So in terms of chat UI, here's what we need to do. And then in terms of the backend service, this is the stuff that we need to do. Cool. So let's kind of go ahead and get started with seeing what we need to do. In order for us to really get started and see what we need to do, we need to first kind of start the project and see what we have here. So let's exit this. So what do we have here? We have Avalon. What is Avalon? This is nothing. All right. So let's go. We have Jumpy here. I don't see it here. Oh, use Jumpy. All right. So great. And here we have the chat client. So let's go to the chat client. And we have some uncommitted code that I see here. So let's start a new session. Call the chat client. What version of Node we have? We have 8.4.0, which is fine. And I think npm start should get us started here. Yeah, it should get us started. So let's open it up here and see what we have. All right, so we have the chat window and the chat message. And typing a message basically does nothing because it's not wired to the backend services. So let's open up Vim here and see what we have in terms of components. So we have this conversation window, and inside the conversation window, inside the presenter, we have this text area. And when we click on the send button, we have this on submit. And what nsubmit does basically adds this to the input. And then, yeah, and then this adds a pusher. And yeah. Add message, adds message to the state. So basically, if I type a message here, just so we'll understand, it should add the message here, and it does. So when I click send here, it adds the message. Cool. One thing here is that message should replace this /n with br. Which should give us this effect of breaking lines. Yeah. well, it's not escaping this. Okay. Message of replace. Got it. Oh, I see. Okay. So we need to put it elsewhere. So let's remove this for now. Okay. So now let's go to Chattanooga, which is our backend service. And let's see what we have here. So we have the Slack. We have the authenticator for Slack, which basically authenticates Slack and give us back the token. We have the models, which kind of authenticates the Slack thing. In terms of CMD, what we have here, so we have this config, and then inside main.go, we basically start the server. Which is okay. And then here we have the service. And the service is just a JSON service. So I'm basically just like trying to remind myself of what I'm doing here. Okay. Cool. So so we have this Slack authentication and we have this health, which gives us this health endpoint. So let's first kind of start a tmux session here. Tmux new session Chattanooga. And then here, let's go to CMD Chattanooga and then go run main.go. So this will start the service if it doesn't blow up. Code go src github.com use jumpy Chattanooga and then go run main.go. Okay. So this should start the service, and the service should be live on 8080. Yes, it is. And if we go here, to the service and see what is the thing here. So this should be API v1 health should give us this okay, and it does. So s.get, what is this service? So let's see the get here. So get should be this thing, and it gives us an item, and the item just a fake thing. Okay. Cool. So then we have this Slack authentication, and the Slack authentication is looking for something. So if we go to Slack and authenticator, we have some things that we need to get from the environment variables. So look at the env config here. All right, so what do we actually need? Yeah, so we have this client ID, and we have this client secret. Okay, so client secret. And config is actually Slack config, so Slack should be in the models here, and it is. So Slack config is client ID, which comes from the client secret, so client ID comes from the client ID, client secret comes from the client secret, and callback URL comes from the callback URL. Okay. So what I should have is a file called .env here inside Chattanooga, inside CMD probably. And I don't see a .env. Oh, I do have it. Cool. So here I should have the secrets stored. These are all deprecated right now because every time after I stream, I clean the client ID, the client secret, and everything, you know, for security reasons. So let's look at the kind of the chat UI. So in terms of the chat UI, what we need to do is one, figure out how to break lines from the text area to the moment where, or to the display, right? So that's one thing we need to figure out. Let's look at who's messaging me on Slack at like 8:15 p.m. All right. So, by the way, is everybody being quiet in the chat room, or is my chat room not refreshing? I'm semi worried that my chat is not refreshing, but it's the same here, so I feel like I'm talking to a void. All right, cool. So that's one thing. The other is, so in terms of URL, Slack authentication URL is going to be this. Yeah, might be. Might be that you're quiet. I don't know. It's anyway. So the Slack authentication URL is paste the Slack authentication URL here so we can reuse it. And it's okay. It's okay. I mean, it's completely fine to just quietly, you know, watch. It's fine. What I'm saying is I'm used to, you know, more engagement. But again, I'm completely fine with that. So, I mean, it was so quiet that I just figured out maybe my chat is just not refreshing. But it seems it's refreshing. People are just not talking. All right, so then we need to figure out how to paste this, and then the Slack authentication URL. This is obviously here. And then in terms of backend services, what do we need? All right, so we need a backend endpoint for posting the message to Slack. So this is something that we need, and we also need to test. So what does this need to do? All right, so accept a message from the client, associate the client unique ID to a user, and then post the message back to Slack to the channel that the user is involved with. All right, so this is a kind of a critical thing, and you know, an assertion that we need to make. So I don't know if we should start with that, maybe like test drive this a little bit or not. All right. Sorry about that. I'm just Um, all right. So Max Savage 91 is asking, is this how you break down all your apps to start? So yeah, that's how I break down everything. That's how I break down everything, and this is how I break down, like, in general, kind of the my day. I just tried to make as much notes as possible and to follow along with to dos, and then I add notes as well. So for example, paste a Slack URL, or if I'll say, for example, let's say I'm at work, so I'll do like debug the some service here with someone, right? And then I would say something like, we worked on it together. We found a bug in service Y, and then I will post the link to the issue, right? So then issue link here, and then we submitted this PR, but it's still a work in progress. And then I will have this, PR link here. And then, looking at this a month later, I can figure out what happened here. What happened? What did I do? What did this guy do? And then I can just figure out what happens. And again, I'm running 2 teams with very different disciplines, and really the only way that that I can be on top of things is to just keep notes. Fog the Catman, how are you, fam? I'm doing great. I'm drinking beer and coding at 8:30 p.m. on a Monday. All right. So, we have this backend endpoint posting the message to Slack. So let's go ahead and start with that. I feel like starting with that. Okay, so then let's go and start with this. So in our Slack, we have our authenticator here. And the authenticator has this post authenticate. And this is okay. But now, Slack API, let's see what we have here. So let's look at the Slack API. And Slack API bot. Yep, this is what I want. Bot users, and then we have some APIs that this can call. A subset of all APIs, great. And we have the post message API. We do. And then in post message, we have this token. We have a channel. We have some text. And then whether we have like things. Okay. So, so what should this do? So Slack post message, posting message to something. So what's the association we need in terms of like models? So in terms of models, so we need a user model. We need, so let's do here. It's like plus a user model. We need, how long have I been programming? I've been programming for about 16 years. Yeah, something like 16 years. Um, and so we need a user model. We need a channel model. The channel will hold the ID that Slack sends. Appian? Appian. I don't know who Appian is. Is this Appian? Jet fuel for digital transformation? Evernote is nice. I mean, Evernote's product, I used it for a while, and as you can see, I have an account here. And Evernote is great. I mean, it really depends on what you're gonna do there. But I think, I mean, I don't know the culture there. I don't know, there are a lot of things that goes into whether a place is a good place or not. But I think Evernote can be potentially a really really good place to work at. Again, it depends on many many factors, but so are you looking into working there? What are you looking at? What are you looking at? Okay. Internship. Okay, got it. So yeah, I mean, so for internship, it's really, for me, it goes beyond the product. It actually, for internship, I think the product doesn't really matter. I think what really matters is what is the company's approach to internship in general. And it's mixed. A lot of companies treat it differently. A lot of companies just use it as cheap working hands. A lot of companies, they treat it as just something you have to do. And some companies treat it as we have these people that are very talented and very smart. And we can potentially benefit from them while they benefit from us. And that really kind of dual-sided benefits is what drives it to be really really successful. But I mean, really, in terms of like the company and looking from the outside in as a senior engineer, I really don't have a lot of opinions there. But you as the intern looking into that internship, you need to ask the questions and figure out what do these people expect of me? What is the process of the internship? What am I going to learn? What's my day to day is going to look like? And all of these like open questions where, there's questions that you should get answered, at the minimum. All right, cool. So let's think about this for a second here. So how do we create a user? So here we get this thing from the Slack authentication. We get this access token. We get this bot access token. We get the scope. We get this user ID. I don't know why we get the user ID. Oh, the user ID is the bot user ID. All right, so user ID here is the bot user ID. We have this team name and we have this team ID. Cool. So how can we, normalize this into a model that we can, conclude stuff from? Is this a bot? So maybe a bot and a channel, and then the bot has an ID and the channel has an ID. And then the channel has a bot ID, which is going to be the bot. And the bot has a token. I mean, what's the model going to look like? So in terms of like modeling this, so channel, for example, so let's look at the bot model, right? So we have this and we have a bot model, right? So the model is going to have an ID, which is internal to the application. You know, potentially this is a UUID v4, right, or whatever. And we have a token, which is a unique token for a specific channel, right? And then we have a channel model. And in the channel model, if we look at this here, we have a channel which has a, you know, again, it has an ID which is internal to the app. It has a team name. It has a team ID. And oh, this also needs a bot user ID. And it has potentially maybe a scope. I don't know if like the scope is here, but you know, whatever. So let's save this. So we have a user ID, which really should go here, even though that it's here. And then we have an access token here. And then we have a bot ID, which is a ref to the bot model. Right? So I think this is kind of a good start here. Now, I don't know whether the right thing would be to actually create this on Chattanooga or create a new service that will actually handle those. I mean, I really don't. So here's my approach, right? So let's talk about this for a second, because I think I'm getting into like thinking on things and not, you know, verbalizing them. So my thoughts on dividing the services. All right, so let's say the approach number one is Chattanooga is a semi-monolithic service. All right. In this scenario, it will be responsible for the Slack communication and also responsible for the models and associations of channels and users. Now, if Chattanooga will only be Slack driven, then this makes sense. If Chattanooga will be a bigger service, it doesn't. All right, so then option number two is that Chattanooga is using another service to communicate with the database and the models. Right, so in this case, it will use the other service to create, update, and delete channels, users, etc. Right? So I'm not sold on any of these right now, to be honest. Let's start with this. Let's start with this. Just because I don't have the energy to start a new service right now. All right, cool. So what do we have here? We have this Go package, and then we have this. All right. Cool. So let's go models PG. I think there is GoRM or something like that. Yep, we have GoRM. Is there releases? There are tags? There's the one thing. All right, so let's see what we have here. So we have this model definition. Okay. Database connection. So we have this MySQL, we have Postgres, SQLite. Now, how do we migrate? So we have migration here. Automatically migrate your schema to keep your schema up to date. Auto-migrate will only create tables, missing columns and missing indices, and won't change existing columns, types, or delete unused. So we have this auto-migrate thing. All right, so we have this has table, create. Okay, so model definition. So user, email, language, blah, blah, blah. And then we have conventions, base model definition, GoRM model. Oh, I see. So GoRM.model. What else? So we have this table name. We have this. Oh, got it. Okay. Change default table names. Column names is snake case of the field name. Got it. Okay. So we have associations. We have this thing. Okay, now how do we create something? Oh, so we have this user, blah, blah, blah. And then we have this db.newRecord and db.create. And then, oh, I see. Okay, I see. Okay, so let's go ahead and kind of start with creating this. All right, so then we have this here, Slack. We have these models. Now here, let's go and create. First, let's install GoRM. All right, so getting started. So we have this go get. And I don't think so. Go dep. So go dep save. Oh, go dep. Go get this. To update. All right, so then we'll do this. Go get. And we'll do this. So this should update my packages. Whoops, what happened here? So go package lock. Should have GoRM. it doesn't. All right, so ACK GoRM. I don't see it here. No, I don't see that here. Now, why don't I see that? To add a new package, right? So let's do go get without this -u. So go this. So I should have GoRM right now, but I don't. Why don't I? So I'm under the Go directory. Edit your code. Oh, I need to go. Okay, got it. All right. So, let's do this. Make dir -p stores, and then stores, and let's do channel store.go. All right, and then new channel store, and then this will be this, and then this will return a struct of the channel store, and then this is stores, right? And then this will return channel store. All right. So now in channel store, database connections, we are going to use Postgres. So let's do that. Okay. Great. And then model definitions. Okay, so let's do models. Make dir -p models. Models, and then we'll create this channel.go. So let's copy this here. Okay. So then this will be package models. And then go imports. So we have this thing. Now GoRM UUID v4. GoRM. Okay, so I see a UUID, but I don't see that here. Okay. So string GoRM auto increment. So we have this thing which I don't really need. I don't really need the time. What else? So what did we say we need in the channel? So we need an ID. So the base model, let's look at the base model here. I don't want to. I want a UUID. Okay, so I see this. Hi, Jax, how are you? So I'm seeing this issue from 2014, which doesn't seem... Okay, I see type UUID and then this thing. Okay, so UUID, type UUID. Okay, so UUID Golang. Which is here. So let's do that. And then let's take this here. And let's do go imports. So this is going to be the ID like we said. What else do we need here? So we need the bot user ID. Bot user ID, which is going to be a string. And then we have the token, which is a string. What else? So we need the user ID, which is a string. Right? So let's see how we are defining this. So this one, this is what I want. All right. So then here, this is here. User ID. Great. So this is token. And then here, let's also do this. This is bot user ID. Okay. Why this is weird. I don't know why this is like this weird spacing thing. So why isn't this here? Anyway, this is weird. Okay, so now we have this thing. And then in the stores, we have the channel store. And in the channel store, let's do like create, for example. And then DB. Right. So then here, we'll have something like this, right? So func create. Store, which is going to be a channel store, and it's going to be create. Right here, And then here we're going to have something like this, right? And then this is going to be models channel. All right, so then models dot channel. And then we're going to have the bot user ID to be, you know, something. And then the token. All right, so then here this is going to be the bot user ID, the token, and the user ID. All of these are strings. All right, so then here this is bot user ID, which is going to be the bot user ID, the token, which is going to be the token, and the user ID, which is going to be the user ID. Okay, so then this will be the channel. And then let's do this. db.create and channel. Okay. So now let's look at the database connection. So we have this Postgres and db equals to gorm.open. Postgres, blah, 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 this and that. All right, so let's do this. Okay, and then this is going to be db, which is going to be db. Right. Okay. And then let's remove this error. And then host is just for, you know, just for an example here. This is this, and DB name is going to be Chata test, whatever. SSL mode is disabled, and password is, we don't really need that. Okay. All right. So then error, and let's panic. Cool. All right. So now let's do stores channel store test.go. Okay, and then this is stores. We're gonna do this. Oops, sorry about that. So go test class. And then stores and test channel store. Channel store creates channel. Okay, so then we don't really need this anymore. And now here. So we don't really need mock. Testify assert. Okay. All right, so here we have this assert. And then here this is created or is new equals to channel store, and then store equals to new channel store. And then is new equals to store.create. And then I don't know, this is sample. Okay. And then assert.true is new. True. Assert.new. Oh, T. So this should be what? Oh, I see. Is this T? No, this is C. What? Test child store. Testing T. What is this testing T? What? So here we have this suite. Okay, something is off here. So we have this Spock. Oh, this is the suite. All right. So suite, and then setup, and then this is the test, which is test example. All right, suite.t. This is what I want. All right, got it. So then this is s.t, like so. And then is new. So now go test here. No test files. No Go files in Go test stores. This is weird. And I think Go dependency is being slow right now. Why is this no test files thing? Go test sub dir. Yeah, this is what I remember too. Oh, it's 3 dots. Yeah, okay. Cannot find package GitHub lib pq. Where is this pq thing? All right, so let's do this. So we're gonna get Postgres and then go test. Cannot find package here. So let's bring that in. So go get here. And then go test. Why? This is too slow. Unknown DB. Got it. So here. db is what is db? Is it gorm.db? Line 8. What is this thing? What does this return? Let's see what it returns. So gorm, and then dialects, Postgres. So this is scan. We have this struct. Okay. So I don't care about the dialect. I probably care about the DB. So we have this dialect here. And this is SQL. We have this dialect, this new dialect. So let's look at open. What does open give us? So open here is the main. All right, so let's look at open. So open returns, yeah, gorm.db. It does. But this should be just db. I think. Or should it? No, it should be gorm.db. So go imports. What happened? So this returned an error. Expected this, found this. What? Okay. What am I missing here? Okay. Oh, this is gorm.db here. Okay. What? So db is type of gorm.db, same as name would be a type of string. So what's the issue? Oh, I don't need this. Oh yeah, yeah, okay. So go test should still fail. Cannot refer to unexported name. Okay. So is new is undefined. Now we're getting to the meat of things. So this is undefined. And then this is undefined, and then new channel store. So new channel store is a part of stores. Is used as a value. New channel stores is used as a value. No, it's not. Oh, wait, what? Yeah, it's okay. So then undefined models. So this is probably here. So yeah, models. So models channel. So this is use Jumpy. Chattanooga models. Okay. All right. Can it use DB as type gorem.db in field value? I see. So this should be a pointer to DB. All right, we're getting somewhere incrementally. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's wait for this to run. Oh, I see it already did. Okay. Anyway, so I think it's late enough for today. So I'll finish early today. Probably gonna be here tomorrow. Not sure. I just had a long day. I think I'm just like fading away. So thank you everybody for being here, and I will see you tomorrow probably. Peace.